The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, is brought to you by, well, of course, you. If you want to learn more about how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/expat2020. Hey everyone, welcome to The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. This is episode 29. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Dan. Dan, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm just dandy. How you getting on?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Just hanging out, kicking back, enjoying the weekend. How's the weather out there in jolly old UK?
Well, we've left winter. It looks like there's like sun and stuff now. We've got blue skies after 8 months of black and greys. Yeah, it's getting warm as well. Like overnight, it's gone up by about 15 degrees. It's very pleasant.
Cool.
How's Jalen? Because I know that in Japan, February's frigging cold.
Yeah, it's cold, but it hasn't been as cold as previous years. It's still above zero. It's averaging at around 3 or 4 at night. And we're getting into like 10, 11 degrees in the afternoon. So, but it's been clear. We haven't had much rain yet. So, February is usually dry. So, yeah. So, things are going well over here.
Lovely.
And today we have another special guest. She's making our second appearance on our show. Mochabutter. Yes. Live streamer. Yeah. Multi-talented. So, Mocha, why don't you tell some of our new listeners a little bit about yourself and, what you've been playing and streaming recently?
Sure. So, hi, everybody. My name is mochabutter. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. I play a whole gaggle of games. Nothing is off limits at this point. Streaming has kind of given me a really cool opportunity to just expand myself as far as what games I like. So, but what I've been streaming recently is Apex. I've been like hardcore streaming Apex. I was actually just telling Expat earlier that I've had the game for about maybe a little over a month, and I've logged almost 200 hours in the game. So yes, I have a problem, but it's fine. We're not going to talk about it. I've admitted it. Acceptance is the first step. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So before jumping into what Dan and I have been playing, I want to tell everyone out there that this episode will be going up on Patreon at patreon.com/expat2020 in early access for the first 3 days after recording. So if you'd like to support the show and become a patron at the entry tier 1 level at $1 per month and get early access to every episode and listen ad-free along with other perks, including exclusive post-show content that we do after every show and special bonus episodes, please visit patreon.com/expat2020 for further details. On Tuesdays each week, the podcast will be uploaded to all of the free podcast services where you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, Spotify, Amazon Music, and my YouTube channel, Expat 2020 Gaming. Just download your favorite podcast app or open Spotify and search for The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there. And spread the word about the podcast. We also have a website for the podcast at expat2020.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave questions and comments as well. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena, AMPGMP, which stands for a multi-platform gaming news podcast, as well as on Instagram at The Arena_podcast. Now, Dan, I went back to Diablo, man. Because last week, we had the Blizzard announcement. Yep. So I was like, what the hell? I went back to Diablo 3 and I was playing through Act 3. Yep. And that was really fun. And I'm starting up on Act 4 now. But man, oh man, those maps are massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're massive, man. But it's, going back into it, it just feels like a button masher to me. It's just like Diablo. It's fun to play and all, but it's just mashing buttons. X, 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 yep. Square, square, square. So, but I've been playing that. Still playing Valhalla.
Yeah.
Still playing it.
Ever
I'm
closer
getting.
working your
I'm
way.
I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer to the end, but I mean, I can smell it. I mean, it's coming. But yeah, that's about it this week. How about you, Dan?
Yeah. So, well, but basically, go back to your Diablo chat. Yeah. I mean, when I first played it, when it came out, when it came about, yeah, it's strange how what I noticed about it. It was essentially just you watching like numbers ticking away from someone's health.
Yeah.
It was like have you ever played the game darts? Maybe, right?
No,
So,
not that one. No.
well, in the UK, we play darts like actual physical darts with a dartboard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. I
so-
thought you were talking about a video game.
Well, either it's the same. But like, basically,
Yeah,
like, in
but
the UK,
regular
like,
darts, yeah.
yeah. So like in the UK, we play it like you start with 301, and you got to get all the way down to 0, ending on a double number, right? And it just struck me like how Diablo was just like darts, just like you have an enemy that's got 500 points, and you just kind of juggle your weapons to get that 500 down to 0 in the fastest time possible. It's a really weird analogy, but that's just how I started to feel about the game after a while. Like when we got to where you are now, I was kind of done with it. So it felt like a weird, like a weird twin stick shooter thing.
Yeah, I just hadn't played it. I hadn't played it in so long. I just wanted to go back and get that feel again for it. So
yeah. No, I mean it's all right. It's an all right game. I don't understand the whole rabid fan base for it. It just seems weird, but fair play to them. Good stuff. What have I been playing? What have I been playing? So I finished Super Mario Sunshine. I didn't 100% it because I hate that game. Mario Sunshine is the worst Mario game out there, and it's also, a bad game in itself outside the series. So I was delighted because that means I can play Galaxy now. Woo! And I've also been playing a lot of 3D World, which is awesome. Super Mario 3D World, the re-release on the Switch, has been great. I've forgotten how easy that game is, though. Yeah. Like, in 3 or 4 sittings, I'm now at the final world, and I've got everything so far. But that's a hell of a game. Really been fun. Finding all the green stars and the stamps and stuff. It's been good. I haven't played the new extra stuff. I haven't played Bowser's Fury yet, but I will do. But yeah, that's about all I've been doing this week is Mario.
All the Mario.
Yeah.
So on today's show, we're going to be talking about some stories out of Xbox. Of course, Halo Infinite receiving help from a particular studio. Anthem's redesign, BioWare being canceled. And then, of course, all things PlayStation. We have a ton of stuff to talk about PlayStation this week. We had the State of Play and a lot of news from the CEO of PlayStation. So we're going to be talking about that a lot in the episode. And just earlier today, actually, we're not going to go over it too much here in the podcast, which just in advance to our patron Burlyman Gaming out there, sorry about this, but we're not going to talk so much about Pokemon, but there was a Pokemon Direct today, and Dan, what were some of the things that went on there? Do you know?
So I don't know particularly well. I watched it. I still have no idea what's going on because I'm not really a massive fan of it. Yeah. But so we've got some re-releases, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yes.
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 So there are Pokemon games being re-released, aren't there?
Yeah.
There we are having, I can't what they're called. What are the actual names? Diamond and
Pearl.
Yeah.
Diamond and Pearl, okay.
It's Brilliant Diamond and Shimmering Pearl.
Yes, they're fancy now.
They are fancy.
They are fancy now.
Yeah. But basically, they've taken the DS games, and it looks to me like they've taken the DS Pokemon games, and they've kind of applied the Zelda Link's Awakening engine to them. It looks very much like those games. It's got the same, kind of weird stunted chibi look to it.
Yeah, I hate to say this. I mean, I've lived in Japan for over 20 years, and I've never been into the Pokemon series. I've never been into it. My kids loved it. My kids played a lot of the Pokemon games on DS and 3DS, but I was just never into that series. So
I mean, you've
Anyway,
got to
like
admire.
I said, to our patron out there, Burleyman Gaming. Sorry, man.
We love you, Burley.
We love you, Burley.
Okay, Burley. I'm
Yeah.
here showing the Pokemon love. I'm a big Pokemon fan, and I'm very excited about these releases. So
Cool.
Good. I'm glad that they're really committed to re-releasing every single Pokemon game ever that's already been out on the Switch. It's great. So you've got 20 odd years of Pokemon games to come out on this platform. It's awesome. But did you hear the rumors that they're making like a feudal Pokemon set in like the past of Pokemon?
ooh,
The same guy who leaked that these two games are coming, before they were officially announced, also said, "Oh, by the way, there's this game that's coming out." It's I'm sure Burley was like, "Oh, brilliant! He'll know more." But, yeah, no, it's interesting. Like a feudal Pokemon. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
It would
Was
be
it
cool.
Pokemon Legends Arceus?
Oh, is that?
New challenge and a new
Is that
frontier for the Pokemon world.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Maybe.
Yeah. I was watching in the remakes because I never played the DS ones. I mean, I never really played Blue on the original Game Boy, which I've gone back to about 5 times recently as well. I just can't,
Wow.
I'll play it I'll really get into it for 3 hours and then just put it on,
And then you're
put it
like,
down
I'm
and turn it off.
done.
Yeah, exactly. And I forget about it, which is really bad.
Yeah. I was really big into Emerald, and then that's kind of where I kind of first fell in love with Pokemon outside of like the film and the films and TV series. And then when they released Diamond and Pearl for the DS, I think that was like the first one that I was like officially like really invested in video games, and I like played the heck out of. I never finished it, and I have never finished a Pokemon game because normally I get to like there's one gym that I'm just like, I've spent 3 days on it and I'm like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. You can't rope me in. And then I never get past it.
So, Mocha, were you into the Pokemon Go fad?
I was into it briefly. And then I was like, this seems dangerous. I was like, this definitely seems like a problem. And then like a couple months later, it started to become like a dangerous issue and people were like doing stupid stuff and being weird about it, and I was like, yep, okay, I'm good. And I also just didn't have the patience for it because if I couldn't catch a Pokemon, even though it was still a little like buggy and wonky when I first started playing it, because I played it pretty much originally at launch, and I was like, okay, I'm good. Like I don't need this in my life. I'll just go pick up my Game Boy Advance or something. It's fine.
Dan, did you play Pokemon Go?
No. I my
Yeah.
scathing contempt for anything mobile prevented me from getting involved in that. But yeah, I know many people who did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the weekly news beat now. So the first story we're going to talk about is Xbox related. Halo Infinite receiving help from the Coalition. Of course, the Coalition is the development studio of the Gears series. So just recently too, I think it was yesterday, there were some 4K rendering photos from PC of Halo Infinite, and it's looking a lot better now from what they showed last year at E3, I think it was. But so it looks like they're going to be pushing forward and trying to get this out come November, and looks like the Gears studio, the Coalition, is helping 343 Industries, particularly with the single player campaign portion of the game. They're not focusing on the multiplayer version from the news reports. So I want your guys' thoughts on this. Do you think it's still going to come out in November? And especially for you, Dan, I mean, in gaming history, are there other examples, maybe in the past like 10 years or maybe even 20 years, that for example, first-party studios would actually come together to help each other to make sure that the game would be released on time after maybe a particular delay? So,
oh wow, that's a really tough question.
So anyway, but first of all, what are you guys' thoughts on this? The Coalition helping out 343 Industries to try to get this game ready for possibly the November, because they said fall of this year. They had a release window. There's no actual release date yet, so it's like fall of 2021, which was originally supposed to come out last year.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think? Them helping, is this looking like it's going to happen now?
Yeah.
Do you want to go, Dan? Do you want to go first? Don't everybody get up at once.
Yeah.
Dan, do you want to kick us off or you want me to go first? I'm happy either way.
If you've got something to say, yeah, jump straight in. Go for it.
So I guess I am interested to see how the cookie is going to crumble on this one, only because I've been covering a lot with what was happening in the past couple of months with Cyberpunk and the insanity that has been on console, with like people pulling it from their stores, and the game being completely and utterly bugged and unplayable and not letting people in and giving weird messages at the opening of the game. And I every time I talk about it, I'm always thinking to myself, like, why the game was, to my understanding, the game was supposed to be released 2 years after they did eventually end up releasing it, which in my mind, releasing a game 2 years early is super ambitious. So I'm hoping that, Halo, because it has such a very it has a pretty diehard following, that I think it'll be cool to see these two studios work together. I don't know a whole lot about their history and all that kind of stuff, but I'm kind of interested to see if it's going to work, and I'm hoping that they will actually be able to release on time. I just hope that everybody in general learns from what happened to CDPR with Cyberpunk and is like, you know what, maybe we should exercise caution instead of just be like, here's the game and it's not done. Yay.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's certainly interesting. That these two guys working together. I mean, it's interesting in that. So the first thing we see from this is upscaled. So is it purely a graphical thing? Because from what I read, it was just like.
It looks like it. Yeah.
One of the VFX guys who works at Coalition is credited as working on Halo Infinite. Is that where all this all came from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, basically what it is, from what it seems like, is a polishing process.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
which makes sense at this stage in the game, because we are obviously that deadline is set in stone. It's not going to shift now.
Right.
It's got to be now, because otherwise we're getting into crazy territory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
it's got to come out, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they were gonna, if they were on board to help tweak story, and I mean, it's getting a bit late in the day for all that sort of jazz. So. Yeah, I guess if they're to help with a bit of spit and polish, that makes jolly good sense. Rope in whoever you can. I mean, they're both owned by Xbox, aren't they? So,
yeah.
And Microsoft rather. So, what do they care?
Right.
It's good. I've not seen these screens though. It sounds interesting.
Yeah. And one other thing, not related to Halo Infinite, but on the Xbox side, some news dropped earlier as well, pertaining to EA Play, which if you have a Game Pass Ultimate subscription for March, Star Wars Squadrons is coming.
Hey,
EA Play.
Yeah.
So if you have a Game Pass Ultimate subscription, you're going to get Star Wars Squadrons in March. Yep.
Hey.
So that's a big plus for those of you Xbox players out there that possibly have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriptions. That's a big plus. So
speaking of which, sorry, just to highlight, derail this slightly. Did you hear that next month's PlayStation Plus might be having Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Really?
That's been confirmed.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Yeah, it's unconfirmed, but that'd be quite a get.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also not out the realms of possibility. Because I mean, who's buying that game now?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think it's had its day in the sun. Now it's time to get that extra revenue from making it available to PS Plus subscribers. But yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because
they're re-releasing
we'll
it anyway.
About this later. We'll be talking about this later, especially during the state of play information. But with the PS5 version, then of course PS4 owners, we'll be talking about that. But yeah. So anyway, I think Halo Infinite is going to come out in probably November. It's got to come out. So with the coalition helping them, I think it's going to be ready. So. Okay, so let's move on to the next story. Of course, more bad news, but then again, we all saw this coming, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anthem redesign canceled at BioWare. So BioWare and EA are ending work on Anthem next. So it's kind of supposed to be like an Anthem 2.0. So basically, their justification was, of course, partially the COVID pandemic, but, for productivity. But what they're talking about now is moving forward, and they want to focus more on efforts of the strengthening studios for the next Dragon Age and the next Mass Effect games.
Oh.
All of which are going to be live services because it's a model that really works.
Mm-hmm.
While continuing to provide quality updates to the Old Republic, Star Wars: The Old Republic. So
brilliant.
So I don't know, man. I'm sure you guys probably saw this coming, right? Mocha, what about you?
I definitely am not surprised. I remember when Anthem was originally released, like I remember watching the trailer for Anthem and I was like, wow, this game is so cool. And then I literally don't know what happened after that, but everybody that I talked to was like, don't even bother. Like, it sucks. They were like, don't play it. It's terrible. And I was like, this is like the most unfortunate thing ever because it looked so cool with the concept of the different, I mean, for lack of like a better term, but different like, character themes of the different, the 5 different or 4 different or whatever they were. And I was like so excited. And then it just like dropped up the face of the planet because everybody told me it was trash. And I was like, well, okay. And then nobody played it. And so I'm actually super, I was excited to hear about this redesign, but I was like, are we going to do it though? So I'm not really shocked at all.
It's, I mean, I keep forgetting the game even existed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, outside those first 2 weeks, it like you said, it just disappeared.
Yup.
Like, the player base just became a fraction.
Mm-hmm.
Just left.
Yeah. But it's no surprise. Like, imagine, like you were saying, like you're excited about the game, it looked good. Imagine if it had just been like a solid single player experience.
Yeah.
And they'd actually put the money into faffing around with live services and all that other bullshit that didn't pay off or didn't work out in any single way, and everyone knew it wouldn't when they announced it. If they'd gone, okay, let's just make a solid single player game, they would have done gangbusters. It would have been an amazing experience.
Yeah.
But again, it's kind of a thing we talked about, weeks ago about how, live services are just absolutely ruining games, and there will never be a successful live service game. It's never going to happen.
And it's funny, they were coming out just the other day saying, and I don't believe this one bit, but they're saying that Dragon Age 4 is not going to be a live service game.
That was the one that I was reading that they were like, it's not going to be that. And I was like, okay.
I do not believe that at all.
But it's still going to have microtransactions, still going to have season passes, still going to have DLC. It's going to have all the other shit to make up for that lost revenue because you can't just sell a game anymore.
Yeah.
No chance.
So this was I guess a long time coming, but we all saw it, and now it's official.
But it's interesting because I've been reading up on this because obviously it's been all over the news, and a lot of the things that we assumed were EA's fault actually apparently weren't.
Yeah.
Like apparently, when we heard live service, we were like, oh bloody EA. But apparently, like BioWare were like, pretty much this is what we want to do. Is we want to make this a thing. We want to have microtransaction and all this other BS. And it's but that's not your wheelhouse, BioWare. What are you doing? So it's interesting. So playing, painting EA as a villain, which they always are.
Yeah,
but this isn't necessarily 100% the case in this story.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
What a surprise.
Okay, so that's enough of BioWare and Anthem. So bye Anthem.
Bye Anthem.
So they should remake or make a sequel for Jade Empire, because that was a really good game by them. That was awesome. It was like an Xbox game, like one of the really early games.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of disappeared now, but it's unbelievably good. Yeah. They need to re-release it on. I think it is on backwards compatible on the Xbox One actually.
Wow.
But anyway, sorry, that's by the way.
Yeah, no problem. So, all right, let's get into our Sony state of Sony. Basically, so much to talk about this week. A couple of the stories that, like for example, Gran Turismo 7 is going to be delayed into next year, and then just yesterday they came out with some news also. About SSD drives. You'll be able to swap SSD drives, particularly from this summer, I think it is. But they haven't expressed exactly what types or what models of SSDs you'll be able to swap out, and what their compatibilities will be. But first of all, so we got so much to talk about with Sony tonight. The PSVR 2 was announced,
Yeah.
and I was a bit, I was a bit disappointed though, because you're gonna still need to use a cable.
Well, I feel like that's a hazard to me. I feel like people are gonna lose their limbs on that. Like, if I was playing anything that was VR and I had a cord, like, I would definitely hurt myself. That just seems like a big caution tape for me.
Yeah, but I mean, I just with like the HTC Vive, and then you got the Oculus Quest, and the Oculus series. They're wireless. I mean, why can't PlayStation do the same thing? I don't know. But from what they're saying, it will connect to PS5 with a single cord to simplify setup.
That's what it has now,
ease of use. Yeah.
So it's no change whatsoever.
Cool. We're doing the same thing.
Yeah. I imagine they're going, because right now it's two giant cables stuck together into one giant unwieldy, unusable cable. I guess we're going to have it one unwieldy, usable cable.
But they're saying this is going to. Yeah, let me just say they're saying that it's going to enable a high fidelity visual experience this time.
See, that's the only reason for it. Maybe, they can't get that amount of data across whatever Bluetooth, whatever they want to be using, or however it would be, like local Wi-Fi, something mad like that. But I mean, it's gonna be damned impressive. So having the graphical fidelity transmitted wirelessly, isn't an option at this stage, I suppose. Wait for PSVR 3, the inevitable upgrade.
Yeah. And they're also working on a new VR controller that will incorporate some of the key features focused in the DualSense wireless controller, along with a focus on greater ergonomics, and hopefully no drift.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So, and it won't be coming this year. I don't imagine we'll probably see this thing until 2023. Probably. I mean, I think it's probably still in early development at the moment, but I think they basically felt that it was, time enough to go ahead and announce it. But I don't think it's going to be coming out anytime soon.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd announced it like a couple of days before on the PlayStation EU blog. Had an introductory post about it, like a day or two before the State of Play announcement. Which is really weird, because I thought they'd have saved it for that. I mean, like I said, they didn't show anything. It literally was a guy from Sony saying, hey, PSVR 2's coming. Yeah. And that was it. That was like the length of the blog post.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason for that was they wanted to focus on the State of Play, wanted to be focused specifically on like games and not anything focused on hardware. So, so that's probably why they came out and announced it the day before.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Okay, and in the next story, from our huge amount of Sony news, of course, PlayStation games are coming to PC.
Yay!
And the first one coming in the next, next month is Days Gone is going to be coming to PC now. So we had last year we had Horizon, right? Horizon Zero Dawn came to a PC. Death Stranding also is on PC now. And of course now Days Gone is coming. So, I mean, it's funny because, there's some like Twitter console flame wars still going on. And it's interesting how a lot of the Xbox people are coming out now and saying, well, you guys at PlayStation, you were telling us, well, because all the games that are on Xbox are on PC also, so there's no reason to buy an Xbox. Well, now for you guys on PlayStation, now that the games are going to be on PC, there's no real reason to buy a PlayStation. Ha ha ha.
That would work if the games weren't already like 3 years old.
Right.
That would be an excellent argument if it wasn't like the things we played like 3 years ago and already bored of.
Yeah, it's just a ridiculous argument all around. I mean, if you want to play on PC, play it on PC. You know,
Yeah.
you want to play it on PlayStation, you want to play it on Xbox, play it on whatever platform you want to play it on. But yeah, what do you guys think? More PlayStation games are probably going to be coming to PC now. What do you guys think? Dan, we'll start with you on this one. What's your thought?
It's just a reminder that video games and console gaming is essentially dead now. We're all PC gamers. Don't pretend like you give up. We're all PC gamers now. The PS5, from the Xbox, original Xbox onwards, you've been a PC gamer.
Yeah.
So don't kid yourself. It's meaningless now. I used to care about this. I used to be like, oh, PC, or
me too. I used to be really, really into it.
Now it's like, yeah, well, that's all you're doing.
Install those drivers.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, but yeah, I mean, we're all everyone without exception is a PC gamer now. So yeah, it's all so tedious. Unfortunately,
it is. It's terribly exhausting. I feel like I just recently not moved like permanently. Like I will still buy consoles just because I have always purchased consoles and I love them. And I was a big Nintendo fan when I first started playing video games, and so I will always get consoles. But I just got like a big girl PC that is like fancy schmancy, and I was originally like, I'm gonna get this PC and I'm never gonna use it, and because I'm always gonna use a controller because I'm not gonna like M&K or whatever. And boy, was I wrong about that. And now you can't take me away from the PC, and it's kind of weird because I love my Xbox, and I don't know that I will like I'm always gonna purchase another console, but I do love my PC.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's just I'm glad, because then more people can play his games. It's good news all around.
Yeah,
fundamentally,
yeah,
and
I think
it just bolsters my argument.
It
just bolsters my argument that gaming kind of sucks now, as I've mentioned once or twice before in this podcast.
All right, so moving on. The next bit of PlayStation news: PlayStation confirms new games will continue to launch into PlayStation Plus.
You don't say.
What?
I mean, it's funny. Like, I mean, you keep saying that like there's lots of PlayStation news. Like this, the state of PlayStation was worse than the Nintendo Direct that came out like last week.
Really?
It sucked. Like, I don't I don't
leave
know why.
That for later, dude.
Okay, all right. We'll come back to this later. But
yeah.
Sorry.
But I mean, it's this was a bit of the news that they were dropping this week, though. So I wanted to add it in here. So because it seems like we're going to continue the trend that we had with the PlayStation 4 era of many indie titles coming day one to PlayStation Plus, and I think that's a big thing because Yoshida-san, Shuhei Yoshida, he's the head of the indie division now. He's going to be making sure that a lot of these new indie titles that are coming out are going to jump right over to PlayStation Plus, and I think that's a big thing. But we'll still probably occasionally see some AAA titles jumping into PlayStation Plus. Will it be day one titles? Probably not, but we'll probably see some like that are maybe 6 months to a year old jumping in there. But I think it's going to be a continued trend of more indie titles that are coming out day one jumping into PlayStation Plus.
Well, it's great. I mean, yeah, that's great. That's brilliant. Because can you imagine? Like, I keep thinking this every time I go on the Switch store. I keep looking at this and seeing like there are like 1 million games in the Switch store now. Like, how many of these are selling like 10 copies? Yeah, you know what I mean. But then like, we release it on like the PlayStation. You can go, well, I could either gamble on like 15 people buying my game, or I can rely on this giant check from Sony, and that's me done. I've paid for my dev costs probably. So no, it's cool. It's very cool, I think.
Mocha, do you have PlayStation Plus subscription?
I don't even have a PlayStation. I only own an Xbox. And
That's
I
right,
actually have a question for the two of you. Like, I'm still like wrapping my head around this PlayStation Plus thing. So is PlayStation Plus something that Sony released to compete with the Xbox Game Pass?
No,
Or
it's
was
been
it,
out
like,
longer
running
than
in tandem? Oh.
Mm.
So was
longer
it-
than Game Pass. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dan, did PlayStation was the PS3? Did
Yeah.
people have PS Plus subscriptions
did.
then?
Yep,
Okay,
that was when it first appeared. Yeah, it just
Yeah.
allowed.
Cool.
It just incentivized buying the online multiplayer because
Yeah.
So they were like, well, you can play online, and we'll give you some of these old games as well for, well, not free, but we'll throw these little extra games in for you. So
Yeah.
And then after PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now came out.
Oh, okay,
And
cool.
that is more of like a streaming service where you stream the games. You can't physically download them into your hard drive, but you can stream the games and play them.
Oh,
And those are
see,
more like PlayStation 3 era games. Things
right.
Like that. And
Mhm.
they've been gradually adding PS4 titles into that as well.
Yeah.
And then that's where Xbox decided, okay, let's bring out Game Pass, which is like a Netflix of gaming.
Mhm.
And I think was a reaction to PlayStation Now.
Yeah. See, this is the period, the like period of gaming that I was not involved with the PlayStation or the Xbox. I was very like hyped up on Nintendo consoles during this entire time. So I like missed when the PS2, PS3, and PS4 came out. I was like playing the Wii and playing on my Nintendo DS. And then I finally like came back around to when I got an Xbox One. So I have a big gap in my memory from that.
Yeah. Playing Pokemon, right?
Yeah, I was too busy playing Zelda and Pokemon,
Cool. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next story. And of course, the PlayStation boss, Jim Ryan, of course, making a lot of news this last week. And another bit of the news was that the supply of PS5s will start to pick up in the second half of 2021. So he also promised that there would be more stock for everyone who wants a console to get this holiday season. Possibly. They're really not sure on that yet. The high demand for PS5s, of course, combined with the global semiconductor shortage, which now President Biden, is going to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the COVID-19 pandemic is forcing console sales through bot-invested online portals, Sony's still facing serious constraints in how many people can actually get one. But he's confident that probably in the second half of 2021, there will be more stock that you might possibly be able to get. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? I'm thinking probably I'm content right now with my PS4 Pro because we're going to talk about this in a few minutes, but with the state of play, everything that they pretty much showed is all going to be on PS4. So it's like, I really don't, and I think, Dan, you would agree with me on this, that we really don't need a PS5 right now.
No.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
No, it's just made me think of, there's a guy I work with who's got one, and he's constantly talking about it, but he's always talking about it in a way that it sounds like he's trying to justify him owning it. It's really, really
find
weird.
that too. I find that too.
like-
Everybody that I know that owns one is exactly the same way, and it is the most bizarre experience.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you've bought it.
Yeah,
I don't care. Like, good for you, man. But
Yay.
it's always like, but look what it does to this PS4 game. And it's like, yeah, it looks mildly better. That's
Yeah.
great.
Cool.
Like, why are you trying to sell it to me? Like,
Right.
it was strange.
10 ports
Yeah.
of Gryffindor. Calm down.
Yeah. But there's one student of mine here in Japan that owns one now. And he says, when you stick the disc inside of the PS5, it sounds just like the PS4 did, just that sound.
Really?
And he said it's really noisy.
Oh.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm starting to wonder if I'm actually going to get one this year. Maybe I'll try again during the holiday season, but there's really no need. Yeah.
Well, there's no need, and B, like, well, they're coming, and yeah, as soon as I don't know what's gonna happen here in the UK, but our lockdown is lifting soon. which means like stores and shops are going to be open. So there might be a chance to go into a shop and actually pick up a physical one. But
yeah.
until like I said, until you can get around the whole bullshit scammers, I can't wait till like PlayStations are readily available and they've got like 50 PS5s in their house that they can't sell for shit because they're technically secondhand.
Mhm.
Oh, it's gonna be brilliant! I cannot wait.
That's gonna be awesome.
And I also hope they die of the worst rectal cancer ever.
Oh.
I hope it's really long.
Andrew.
I hope it takes
Teething.
months to happen. Yeah. But yeah, obviously, you know, it's they're coming. Who cares? And like, but hey, by the time they come up, maybe there's some games to play on it as well. Because again, there's aside from Dark Souls, there's no reason to freaking. That's troubling as well. The fact that Dark Souls, a game that's 10,
Yeah, 10
no more than
plus
that.
years old.
Yeah.
10 plus, yeah.
11,
or 12, yeah.
The only reason to buy a PS5 is to play an 11-year-old game.
Wow.
Anyway,
Imagine it.
Yeah.
And I just played Dark Souls for the first time a couple months ago, and I was like, this game is really cool, but God, it's hard. And I can't, I was struggling. It took me like 2 hours to get through the tutorial.
Yeah. It's proper brutal. It's good. I played it on the PS3. It is good, but then I got to a stage, I said some sort of poisoned swamp or something. I remember it now, and it was just like just existing in there drained your health bar.
Yeah.
And it's like, this game is effing hard enough without constantly having my health chipped away for no reason.
Yeah, for
Maybe
no reason. As if, like your health was just, you know,
so much of it.
Plentiful commodity in that game.
Yeah.
Comparable to Sekiro, Dan?
Oh.
Way harder. Like honestly, it's ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I would, because that was my thing. I was like, do I play Dark Souls 3 or do I play Sekiro? And I was like, I'm gonna just opt for the Dark Souls 3 and I'm gonna push through, because I had watched a couple people play Sekiro, and it's, oh my god, that game is breathtakingly beautiful. I've never played it myself, but it's breathtaking. That boss with the big white snake was amazing, and I remember I was like playing through Dark Souls 3, and I was like, these bosses are like massive. Like, I don't want to go over there. I don't want to deal with this. No, thank you. And it's truly very immersive, and they're really incredible games. But man, they're brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like we're talking about all these Souls games and stuff, and like, Japan Studios, of course, had some influence on those. And of course, that was another story that just dropped a day or so ago, that they're going to be not closing up shop completely, but they're going to be focusing on other things. But yeah, not what it used to be there. Okay, so let's get into State of Play, the State of Play. And actually, I have on my YouTube channel now, and on Expat 2020 Gaming, and on Twitch, I did a live reaction video to that, so you can check that out as well. But let's go ahead and go through some of the stuff that they announced from the beginning. Crash Bandicoot 4, it's about time. Hey, it's getting a PS5 upgrade. So, and the PS5 version will be for free for those who have the PS4 version of the game. But I mean, they were just, it's like 4K 60, 4K 60, 3D audio, 4K 60. I mean, it's like they said it about 100 million times.
It matters. It's really important.
Yeah.
They're really hell-bent. They want you to know.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I kind of defer with you, Dan, on the Nintendo Direct. It's like on the State of Play.
Yeah.
It's like at least they had some developers, the actual developers of the games, actually talking about them and giving some kind of input as to what you have to do in the game, and the control schemes and stuff like that. Whereas in the Direct, you didn't get any of that. So
no, but then I think that's the point. That's the point of the Direct, isn't it? It's not aimed at gamers. The Direct, it's aimed at kids that can go and pester their parents. You know, they talk about like colors and Pokemons, and that's it. And yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, and I guess the more older, tech savvy PlayStation audience maybe want to hear the development stories and the inspirations for their game. So yeah, it makes sense. So that is a fair. Yeah, I can see that. That's fair enough. It still sucked though. Yeah.
Next up was Returnal. So I don't know how you guys feel about that name. It doesn't stick with me. Returnal.
It's awful. Yeah, that's shocking. Yeah.
But okay.
So it's coming to PS5 on April 30th, and I think isn't it coming to PS4 as well?
Probably.
I think that's one of the games that was also coming to PS4 as well. But anyway, it's coming to PS5 on April 30th, and it's a third-person action adventure game. You're running around daunting alien planets, bursting with this ooey gooey tentacle, these tentacle type of monsters. It kind of gave me a Prometheus type of vibe to it when I was watching the trailer. But the interesting part of this game, what they were describing was every time you die and restart, the game's maps and enemies will change. So you're going to get this like unique type of replay loop in the game. So that was really interesting, I thought. And it starts to delve into the supernatural and psychological elements because the main character, I think her name was Celine, her backstory has like a lot of psychological elements to it. So what did you guys think of this one, Returnal? And it's from the developers of Resogun from Housemarque.
It is. It looked okay. Is that I'll watch this. I think I'll watch this. Is that the one where like, yeah, you're shooting weird aliens and tentacles and stuff, but then she goes back to like her old house?
Yeah, kind of like that Silent Hill vibe.
Yeah.
Right. You know, that intrigues me. Yeah. The idea of, you know, having supernatural space horror, and then the link to, you know, nostalgia and your past or whatever, and what your memories and stuff. It does sound interesting to me. Yeah. And of course, it's Housemarque, so it should be pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's only on PS5 though. I don't think it is on PS4.
It's too bad.
It's exclusive. Yeah.
Yeah, because the majority of the games that were shown here were also available on PS4 too. So. But what did you think of Returnal? Yeah,
I would agree. It gave me like really heavy Silent Hill vibes, and I'm still kind of like working my way up to the courage enough to play single player horror games to their, you know, to the fullest. The first one that I really played and invested any time into was Resident Evil 7, and it was an amazing experience, but boy did it scare the hell out of me. So I'm hoping that this one will continue, because I feel like I have lots of friends who are really big horror fans, and they are kind of feeling a little, I don't want to say bored, but they're just kind of like, I feel like maybe they're feeling like there's a constant recycling of maybe content or format or something. There's something, a spark missing, where they're not really feeling excited about any horror games that are coming out right now, which it also could be potentially because a lot of them are being overshadowed with the release of Resident Evil 8. But I'm hoping that it'll be a title that they can be excited about and that I can be excited about too. But it did give me really strong Silent Hill vibes. So I'm excited to see more, although the name is blech, but okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay, the next game that they announced, if you guys are into dodgeball, Knockout City. It gave me, this game really reminded me like going on those rails and everything. When you looked at the trailer, it gave me a lot of vibes of what was it, Sunset Overdrive.
Oh yeah,
the game from Xbox. It's interesting. Also, a hands-on demo is coming out, and the game's try before you buy approach. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. So the game launches on May 21st with a crossplay beta. And that crossplay beta is going to be launching at an unspecified time.
I
don't know. What do you guys feel about that one? I mean, dodgeball.
Yeah, again, you know, I don't have any interest in any sort of online multiplayer or any of that jazz. So this is instantly, you know, big meh for me.
Instantly crossed off.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it did look good. And one of the things that I noticed when I was, because like, the devs are from from upstate New York, I think they said in the trailer for it, and it was interesting to see how much their life. Well, I don't know, maybe it had or hadn't. Had gone into the world design, because the world design looked like you were like, it's like a kind of like Brooklyn or something with like these rails like you're talking about. It struck me as being like American modern urban, or like cityscape kind of thing. It was interesting to me how that bled into it, and I was thinking like, well, how I wonder if that was made by another developer, how the game would look. So I like how they've infused their own look with what maybe their life experiences are kind of infused in the game. I don't know. I need to hear more about it, but the look of it was interesting. But the game I literally couldn't care less about.
Yeah, I would agree. I thought the look and feel was really cool, but I'm a big online multiplayer game. If there's an online multiplayer feature, I'm usually like, excuse me, I'm listening. What more? Tell me. But
Hex.
But it didn't really seem like as like, you know, maybe something that I would be too hippity hyped about, but I'm interested to see more. I'm definitely like, you know, my interest is, you know, somewhat piqued. I'll listen in for more.
Yeah. Okay. Next up on the list here, from what they announced, a new game. It was one of the, I think it was the only game that had not been announced before the State of Play, called Sifu. It's a martial arts inspired action game, destructible environments and weapons that are reminiscent of like the Yakuza series. For example, anyway, it's coming out for PS5 sometime in 2021. So they didn't give a release date or anything like that. But yeah, it was the only previously unannounced game. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? All the action fighting style in it. Were you guys impressed by this game at all? Dan?
I kind of glossed over this one during the thing. I didn't instantly grab me, so I kind of I didn't really pay much attention to this one. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that, really.
Mocha, how about you?
I have to agree. I kind of like, you know, face went blank, and I was kind of fighting that feeling during the entire thing, but I was excited to hear about the games, but I was also like, I don't know. I guess I was hoping that there was going to be something like that was really like new and different, because I feel like we're kind of in such an interesting time for games, especially like newer games that are coming out and indie games that are coming out and things like that. So I guess I was like hoping that there would be something really like new and exciting and different. And I'm not really a big like martial arts Street Fighter type of person as far as when it comes to games. I kind of gloss over in that direction unless it's Mortal Kombat, and even then I still kind of am like, okay.
I was kind of getting those like Sleeping Dogs, that game Sleeping Dogs type of vibe to it, but more in a cartoonish style.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a game that they really need to make a sequel to. I'd love to see Sleeping Dogs 2 or something like that. That'd be really cool.
That's got a weird history, that game. Yeah. It really should have. It should have been way bigger than it was as well, because it was really good.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah.
Next up, a game called Solar Ash. So you play as Ray, who's exploring an immense black hole known as the Ultra Void. So it's a platformer, and you navigate dust clouds with a skating-like mechanic. Single combat system is fast and flowing, and you'll have to master precision and timing to take down the Void's massive sentinels, mythic beasts, who hold the key to the game and her quest. So it's coming to PS5 and PS4 later this year. So no release date was given yet. So kind of gave me Abzu vibes. I mean, the art style of the game. But yeah.
What's that other lemon game I played not so long ago? I can't remember. It looks exactly like oh my god! It was that space more fight. It kind of looks like more fight. The graphic style. Anyway, but yeah, it looks interesting again.
How about you, Mocha?
I'm sorry.
I mean, it was another one that I just kind of was like, I mean, it looks cool. Yeah, I feel like the entire time I must have psyched myself up too much for this. I was watching and I was like, it's gonna be so cool, and I just halfway through I kind of dropped out. But it did look like this was one of the games that did pique my interest a little bit, but nothing that was like, I don't know. I feel terrible. Like I was like super bummed that I felt like it was kind of, there were like a couple of things that I was really excited to see, which I'm sure you're going to bring up here in a few minutes. But I kind of glazed over this one too, but probably more so just because it wasn't really my cup of tea.
Yeah. Next up on the list, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Yay! Yeah, another shitty night alongside the pizzas and the ball pits.
Woo!
Scott Cawthon's survival horror series coming to PS5 and PS4 later in 2021. So no release date yet, but I know. Yeah.
That was like a Flash game. Does it really need like a PS5? Like really, how's it going to benefit from that? But or is it like a whole new thing? I don't know.
I don't know. They'll probably give more information later, but
I gotta say, I got the compilation on the Switch of like the first five Nights at Freddy games. Help Wanted, I think it's called. I gotta say, I don't quite get the appeal.
You're probably a lot less skittish than me, Dan. I scare so easily. My cat scares me. Like,
Really?
he'll just come into my room and start yelling at me, and I'm like, oh my god, death! Like, I'm terrible. So I really like them because I think they kind of, which I don't know, this kind of sounds weird now that I'm saying it out loud, but they kind of prey on that, that childhood fear of animatronics. And I always thought they were pretty creepy growing up, and when I watched a friend of mine play it, I was like, this is creepy as all get out. But it was a very different experience to anything that I was really involved with, like, or what my understanding of what horror games could be. Because when I kind of thought of horror games, my brain immediately went to obviously Resident Evil or Silent Hill. Like, that was what my brain thought of, which are usually very, story based. There's kind of, there's a process you're going on. They're also a little bit of explorative and all that kind of stuff. And this is, more of a click and point and a jump scare. And it was just so different. It really opened my eyes. So I think that's more so why I glommed onto them and why I'm excited for this one. Cause I think they're supposed to be updating the format a little bit. Not entirely sure what the specifics of it. So I'm just interested to see what they're going to release for this new one.
Next up, Oddworld Soulstorm. So, and they were really, really pushing the DualSense controller with this. So it's going to allow players to sense Abe's heartbeat and tension levels. So this challenging platformer sees you step into the shoes of returning protagonist Abe as he attempts to liberate his fellow Mudokons from enslavement. So it's coming to PS5, and PS5 owners will also be able to get a free upgrade starting when the game launches April 6th. So, yeah. So what'd you guys think of this one? Some of the scenes that they showed, it looks like you have to perform a lot more stealthy type of missions in this game as well, and some of the death scenes that they showed, it reminded me of Super Meat Boy.
All right,
what a comparison.
yeah, it was pretty cool actually, but I don't know, what do you guys think? Is this one for you guys, Oddworld Soulstorm?
Yeah. It's kind of, I like the way it's going back to so the Oddworld series is okay. I prefer the first two. Everything else that came after that, I was kind of like a bit meh about. Yeah. So seeing this kind of return to that is very, very cool indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm concerned about the whole controller gimmick thing.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, do you remember when they announced the Wii?
Yes.
All the stuff they talked about.
Plus, and we were like, wow, crazy.
Yeah.
What a difference.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, oh, this sounds like something we'll instantly turn off or just dismiss. Or
yeah, that's how I felt when I was watching it. I was like, this feels very Skyward Sword-ish. Like, ooh, look, a new fancy Wii controller. And I'm like, but is it different? No.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
And next up on the show, and this was my favorite game of the whole bunch, Kena, Bridge of Spirits. It's coming to PS4 and PS5, and showed lots of massive boss fights, frenetic combat. It kind of gave me some like Horizon Zero Dawn feels to it when she was using the bow and arrow in the game. So Kena is a protagonist, and this adventure game is supposed to give us like an insight on the spiritual world and enduring art style that's really cool in a sense, and the music in the game is really beautiful as well. So I really like this game. I'm really looking forward to playing this one. It comes out on August 24th. And it was delayed. I mean, it was a sizable delay, actually. It delayed since last year. It was supposed to come out last fall, when I think it was supposed to be like a launch title for the PS5 as well. But coming out for PS4 and PS5. So, yeah, it was supposed to launch at the end of 2020. But they wanted to polish it up. And yeah, it looks amazing. Really looking forward to playing this one. So what do you guys think of Kena, Bridge of Spirits?
I think it's absolutely beautiful. I was really excited about, like, graphically and visually and music wise. I'm pretty excited about it. So I'm interested to see how people end up responding to it and what ends up going down with it. But
yeah.
Yeah,
Dan, how about you? Yeah.
No, same. I echo that. Yeah, it looks okay. Yeah, it certainly is beautiful. Can't argue that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If you pre-order it, you get a free hat.
A hat?
That's true. I'm not joking.
No, I believe you. That's amazing. I love hats.
You get an in-game hat if you
Awesome.
pre-order it. If you spend £50 to get a digital game that you don't need to pre-order, you get a free hat. So
there you go.
Hats. Great.
Next up was Deathloop, and it's launching on May 21st. The stylish adventure game from Bethesda feels like a little bit of GoldenEye 64. It gave me the music at the beginning in the trailer. It kind of gave me Tarantino vibes. But then, of course, kind of went into like a Bond type of music bit. Just what is it? If you first don't succeed, die again. I think that's what it was saying during the trailer there.
Yeah,
I don't know. It looks like just all out run and gun shooting kind of. What do you guys think of Deathloop?
Yeah, I'm getting a heavy. I was getting more of a heavy. A weird kind of like a Prey vibe. Do you remember that Prey re-release reboot that came out? It just strikes me more as that kind of thing,
and a little bit of Dishonored too, I think.
Yeah. There's all those elements into it, but again, it's like weird retro sci-fi kind of thing. So I like that. That's cool. It looks pretty. Yeah. The level design is very, very cool indeed.
Yeah.
But that whole if at first you don't see die again, that was like from Dark Souls. I think that was one of the things that journalists latched onto. It wasn't like a official press release, but it's what they were saying when describing the game.
Yeah.
It's pretty apt.
Yeah, because in the game you're going to die. Like that's what Deathloop means. So you die over and over again. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then last up, of course, Final Fantasy VII remake.
Remake.
Yeah.
So let's do.
So gets a new story expansion featuring everyone's favorite materia thief, Yufie Kisaragi, an all-new adventure in Midgard that takes place during the part of the story when Cloud is separated from Barret and Tifa. It launches alongside a PS5 upgrade for the game on June 10th. Now, what's interesting about this was, it was probably easy to miss, but right at the end there, it appears... for example, it's going to be a paid upgrade. So it says new episode featuring Yufie available for purchase after upgrading the PS5 version. So yeah, you're going to have to buy this.
Really?
So, yep. Yeah. But then again, as we were talking about earlier in the show, Dan and Mocha, PS Plus, they announced that Final Fantasy 7 is going to be coming in the March lineup to PS Plus.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. But I don't know, man. More Final Fantasy 7 stuff to end the show. Meh. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Whatever.
I've personally never been into Final Fantasy, not because I don't think the story is good, but because I just cannot wrap my head around the physics of Cloud's sword. It just drives me absolutely bananas. I don't know why. I cannot I'm like, who? Look at the size of this blade that you're just like whipping around. It has always driven me absolutely insane, but there's like no reason for it. I'm just being ridiculous. So I've never really been able to get past it for whatever reason, but I did watch a couple of people stream it, and I was, very intrigued by the story, and I thought it was visually a very beautiful game, but I'm like super unfamiliar with it otherwise, because I never really got into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Bleh. It's like it's happened now. It's like they're trying to get that initial hype and initial excitement about the game coming out, and it's like we'll end the show with a big bang, and it's kind of like well no, because it's a year into this bang now. So it's kind of like, oh, that Final Fantasy VII thing still exists.
Yeah.
And of course,
it's like go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
That's a PS5 version. Well, of course, yeah, yeah, it's a bit annoying. You got to buy that extra thing though.
Yeah.
But apparently, if you got it on the PS4 anyway, it doesn't matter because you get the free upgrade. So yeah, you'll get Intergrade as soon as you put your PS4 disc in your PS5. So that's pretty cool, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what Sony is thinking about behind the scenes, and they're probably like, well, we don't want to show any more Horizon stuff right now because we want to wait for E3. We don't want to show any more God of War Ragnarok. We want to wait for E3. So those are the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And I think it's too early in the year yet to show stuff like that off. So, why not just get the Final Fantasy VII stuff out of the way first?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. It's cool. When's part 2 or 3 or 4? Have they decided how long it's going to be yet?
God, I don't know. Yeah.
Surely they're more like, that's the way to get hype. Like, hey, part 2's coming out. I mean, imagine E3, maybe? No, because this comes out on June 10th. So I reckon end of this year they'll announce part 2 of Final Fantasy VII, because don't want to piss on your chips. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we won't be hearing anything about Horizon or God of War until E3. I think so. We'll see. And then anything else new that's on the horizon, we shall see. But so Dan, you were saying that you like the Nintendo Direct better than this.
Well, they were both poo, but I think we were way harsher to the Nintendo one than to this one so far. I mean, from the start of the episode when we talked about the Nintendo Direct, we were pouring scorn on it, and I think that in this we've kind of given Sony a bit of slack, but fundamentally this was as crap as the Nintendo one, easily. It was underwhelming. Like I don't know why this exists. There was nothing aside from Returnal, which looks interesting. Like everything else is kind of like, you could have done this in an email. That's the vibe I got from this. This could have been like, hey, or a blog post or something. I don't know. Like Crash Bandicoot. Well, of course. Like, stop announcing PS5 enhancements now. We get it. Like, we get it. Every game's going to get this. Exactly. It's like, we get it. Like, advertising the same game but at a slightly higher frame rate isn't a new game announcement. It's not newsworthy.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing that with the Final Fantasy VII too, like the side by side comparisons.
Yeah,
there wasn't much of a difference, really. Honestly,
I mean, the weird thing is that everyone who wants to play Final Fantasy VII has already bought and played Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. So I don't know what this is for, but stop announcing it's bullshit. Because pretty much every game's going to get it at some point, to some degree.
Right.
Yeah.
So Mocha, how about you? What was your assessment of the overall state of play?
I was, like I said, I was waiting for the big bang, and like, I guess probably my expectations were way too high because it is pretty early in the year and I wasn't really thinking about that, which is a good point. But I don't know. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop, I guess. I was like, okay, yes, Crash, yes, Final Fantasy, like, yes, okay, moving on. Like, I know all this stuff. Like, we knew this was coming. So, I don't know. I guess I was just kind of disappointed. But I'm also not like a big, I've never really I haven't owned a PlayStation since the PS1. So maybe that is like also as part of it is I'm not really emotionally invested because I don't own one. So like I don't know when the next time I'll even be involved in any of these games unless they come to PC or Xbox. So, but I was excited about Five Nights at Freddy's, which was the big one that I was really excited about. So I was just excited to see some footage of that game. But I look forward to see which of these games is gonna explode, because sometimes some of these games I feel like are really gonna hit up the streamer market, and the streamers are gonna take hold of them and just run with them. So we'll see.
Kina.
Yeah.
Kina.
Yeah.
That's number one on my list.
Mhm.
I really want to play that game.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it.
I think that
and the spiritual elements, it gives me that Miyazaki vibe.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited.
Yeah. So we shall see. So anyway. Okay, so that was our talk of the Sony events and news from this last week. So I don't know when we're going to get another State of Play. Probably before E3. I'm imagining maybe May or.
I won't.
Like that.
Won't they save it for like the? Are they still doing the PlayStation events, like the end of year ones? What was that called?
Oh, the.
Oh, bugger. Anyway, but yeah, these have a big one at the end of the year as well, don't they? Or they have done in.
They used to, yeah. I don't because of COVID, they didn't do it last year.
Yeah,
but, yeah. And I don't know if Xbox is going to be doing theirs either. But they are most likely. I think both are going to be going back to E3 and on a digital type of platform.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see. Okay, so that's it for the Sony news. So let's go ahead and get to our new and upcoming video game releases for the week of March 1st through 7th via Metacritic. So we have 3 games on the list this week, guys. Three games.
Mm-hmm.
First game is Harvest Moon.
Oh wait, no, not
Harvest
Boo.
Harvest Moon One World, coming for PS4 and the Nintendo Switch on March 2nd. So explore 5 unique and colorful areas, sprawling grasslands of Colosan, the gorgeous beaches of Halo Halo, the searing desert heat of Pastilla, the cozy hills of Lebkuchen, and the snowy mountains of Salmiakki. Now, I have no idea what these places are because I haven't played Harvest Moon, but maybe you guys do. I'm not sure. But play as a boy or a girl and woo one of 5 handsome bachelors and 5 beautiful bachelorettes, each with their own unique personality and backstory. Raise and keep animals such as cows, sheep, goats, and even reindeer. Use your Expando farm to easily travel from one area to another. I mean, this is Stardew Valley.
That's what I was just about to say. I was like, okay, Stardew Valley. Okay.
To be fair, it predates Stardew Valley by
100%.
Yeah. But also, really important thing to add: the Harvest Moon. This isn't the Harvest Moon. Fun fact, folks. I think I might have mentioned this before. Actually, like Harvest Moon now is in no way linked to the original Harvest Moon. How it worked is so someone owns the rights to the name Harvest Moon, and kind of shut up the original devs. So the original devs went on to make a game called Story of Seasons. So if you want the proper old school good Harvest Moon games, you got to go look for the Story of Seasons series, which is actually really, really good. The new Harvest Moon games are horrible and they look like friggin' mobile games.
Oh.
Like, this game is so friggin' ugly, it hurts.
Oh.
Yeah, have a look.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Okay. So, second game on the list, Monster Jam Steel Titans 2.
Blimey.
Racing game coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch on March 2nd. Yeah, so Monster Jam Steel Titans 2 features more fan-favorite trucks in brand new Monster Jam worlds, brand new online multiplayer modes, 38 trucks to choose from. There you go, Dan. Your trucks and driving. Yeah. And 5 new outdoor worlds. Drivers train and camp Crushmore and compete in authentic stadiums to become the ultimate champion. So
Is this just Mario Kart with monster trucks? I'm genuinely asking. It kind of looks like
Sounds
it.
pretty good, actually.
Cool. I feel like that would be awesome. Just running people over with big tires and stuff. That sounds fun.
That's what Dan wants to do. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my
Kinda,
god, that
yeah,
sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god, do you remember Excite Truck on the Wii?
No.
That game was friggin' excellent. like, bring it back to the Switch. That game was absolutely excellent. Yeah, that needs to come back. Why aren't more Wii games on the bloody Switch?
I don't know.
Why can't Nintendo make
Yeah.
like I don't know, pisses me off.
They're waiting for the Switch Pro, and then they'll start bringing all the Wii use or the Wii
They
stuff.
don't need,
and then,
they don't need to.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. And well, I was going to say too, Dan's really into like farming simulator. So like all the
Really?
trucks and everything.
Yeah,
I love it.
That and bus simulator, anything with simulator at the end.
Yeah.
Simulator,
Dan,
hello.
Train simulator, I've got Go simulator. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I do like a sim.
If you've never played Untitled Goose Game, it's Goose Simulator. It's really fun.
That's it. Yeah, I got it for my better half. I got her that for Christmas, and we've been playing it. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of
Good
fun.
game,
It's
actually.
super fun just to troll people as a goose.
Yeah,
Just honk
Yeah.
at them and make them really angry about their lives.
yeah, it's brilliant.
Last up on the list, Yakuza Like a Dragon. So
I got that.
comes to PS5. So on March 2nd.
Free upgrade for PS4 users.
There you go. Yeah. Rise from rock bottom. Ichiban Kasuga, a low-ranking grunt of a low-ranking Yakuza family in Tokyo, faces an 18-year prison sentence after taking the fall for a crime he didn't commit. So that kind of reminds me of Judgment. Hey, Dan?
It reminds me of every single Yakuza game ever.
Exactly, yeah.
That's how the
Every
first
single
game
one
started.
ever. I love it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I love it.
Never losing faith, he loyally serves his time and returns to society to discover that no one was waiting for him on the outside, and his clan has been destroyed by the man he respected most. Confused and alone, he embarks on a mission to discover the truth behind his family's betrayal and take his life back, becoming an unlikely hero for the city's outcasts on his journey. So, yeah, so on March 2nd on PS5. So, yeah.
I was joking before, but is there a PS4 upgrade? That sounds good. Hang on, let's have a look.
Oh, I guess this is the PS4 upgrade. It's going to
Yeah.
PS5. So, yeah. And I think this is going to be coming to Game Pass on Xbox. I
Yeah.
think sometime this year. I mean, because most of the Yakuza games have been thrown onto Game Pass in the last few months, pretty much. So, yeah, I can see this coming to Game Pass as well. But yeah, I want to play it, but I want to go back to the beginning ones and play Yakuza 0.
Yakuza 0 is amazing.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. So all 6 games are out now, and plus this one, of course. But that's you've got a lot of gaming ahead of you, and you can't play them back to back. Well, I can't play them back to back because they're experiences. And when you finish it, well, for me anyway, when I finish a Yakuza game, I'm done with Yakuza games for a good while. Like I finished Judgment, which is for all the intents and purposes, it's a Judgment game. It's a Yakuza game.
Yeah.
Like months ago, and now I'm getting the itch to go back. So yeah, like I said, I've got them all now, and I played 0 a couple of years ago, which is phenomenal. It's such a good game. So I'm going to go back and play 1 and 2, and then work my way up to 7 again, and hopefully I'll have a PS5 by then, and I can play it the upgraded version. Which so the PS4, if you bought the PS4 physical, you did get a free upgrade.
Yeah.
When you get a PS5.
Yeah,
cool.
That's right.
Awesome.
Mocha, how about you? You want to play Like a Dragon?
I've never played a Yakuza game before, but I could be into it. I mean, you guys are giving it such high praise. It's a single player game, I'm assuming, yeah?
Yeah.
I
Well,
could be
we're
into
giving
it.
it high praise. We're giving it high praise because we lived in Japan. Well, I live in Japan. Dan lived in Japan too. So,
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be interested in checking it out.
so
I mean,
the
they're-
Yakuza society, yeah.
If you are kind of like into like if you play games like the narratives and stuff, I mean the stories are amazing.
Yeah.
The first one was built. It was like a Japanese detective novelist, I think, did the plot line for it, right? Am I
Yeah.
right in that? Yeah, I think so. And I think throughout the games they've had that sort of tie-in with real Japanese authors coming in to help out and pick the stories up. So
yes, 10 points for authenticity.
Yeah, it's very, very cool indeed.
I love that. Awesome.
So what's your pick for this week, guys? Yakuza Like a Dragon, Monster Jam, Steel Titans 2, or Harvest Moon One World? For me, it's Like a Dragon, Yakuza. Yeah.
I think I'm going to probably agree. Even though I've never played that one, sounds the most intriguing to me.
Yeah. Dan?
Yeah. That's, well, I mean, it's not really because I've already got the game. It's on my list, it's on my to-do list to play pile. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, I while we were talking, I had another look at the trailer for the Harvest Moon game, and dear God, it's ugly. But yeah, honestly, it does look like a friggin' mobile game. So yeah, it's not good.
Tell us how you really feel, Dan.
Story of Seasons, kids, where it's at. Story of Seasons, which is amazing. A new game's coming out end of March. The new Story of Seasons, the new real Harvest Moon game's coming out end of March, which is cool.
Cool. All right. Before we conclude the episode, I want to let everyone know where you can find me on social media. You can find my website for gaming content at expat2020.live and all my other social media links to Twitter, Instagram, my Discord server, the podcast website, as well as my YouTube channels at Linktree. So that's Linktree, so linktr.ee/expat2020. I'm also a live streamer and a Twitch affiliate, and you can catch my live streams on twitch.tv/expat2020 as I do gaming and special event live streams, as well as a supplement to the podcast on Fridays now. So it used to be a weekly, like a weekday format, but now it's changing to a Friday, for example, a week in review.
That's my idea. Good.
I like
it is your idea, Dan, and I'm taking your idea. So. Called The Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Week in Review live stream from 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 2 p.m. GMP out there in Danville.
Yep, that's right. The Empire. Good.
Yep. So that does it for me. Mocha, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at mochabutter streams, on Twitter at mochabutter streams. It is spelled super weird because I only have so many characters. So it's MCHABUTTRSTREMS. And you can also find me on TikTok at mochabutter with 2 R's because I'm on TikTok now, you guys. I gave in.
Cool.
What the hell's a TikTok?
Yeah, okay. So I promise it's a rabbit hole you do not want to fall down. I promise. I've been fighting it for like the last 2 years. I was like, nope, I'm not getting involved. I'm still going to be angry about Vine being gone. But
I have to ask you, one of your TikToks.
Okay,
you were like made up as what, Harley Quinn? Right?
Yeah, I did.
Harley Quinn as like a Joy-Con drift.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was so weird. I was like, I'm just gonna do this because I had to make a bomb for my stream, and there was a sound that I wanted to use. That's a clip from the movie where she's like talking about how, if you've ever seen Suicide Squad, where she's talking about how she hears the voices in her head and there's like a bunch of people around her, and so she's talking out loud as if they can hear them, and she's like, oh my god, what? I should just kill everybody and escape? Oh wait, oh my bad. Just kidding. And she's like, that's not what they really said. LOL. So,
Cool. Well, Mocha, thank you so much for coming on again, and we really appreciate having you, and we're looking forward to having you on again.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Always a pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Yep. And before we go, Mocha, what are you going to be streaming this week?
This week we're going to be streaming a couple different things. We're going to be definitely doing Apex. We're also going to be streaming Stardew this week because we started a weekly series where we're going to be streaming Stardew Valley because I'm totally obsessed, and I have parsnips to plant. I have things to do.
There you go. Dan, go check her out, man.
Nice. I do. I'm scared. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. I don't want to go back into it. Or even though there's all this new content, I'm scared. If I go back into it, I'll lose like another 500 hours of my life.
Oh, honestly. When I first turned it on, I was like, oh no, here we go. The rabbit hole is so real.
Yeah.
Just 10-hour stints of playing bloody Stardew Valley.
Yes.
Like when I first got it, it's just nuts.
Yes.
Like, it's such a good game.
That's my life.
So, Dan, how about you? Where can people find you on social media? What are you going to be playing this week?
Bloody hell. Well, I probably won't be streaming, but I am on Twitch for what that's worth. Press start to game. Actually, I might do a couple of streams. I'm going to try and stream a bit more. I don't know. I'm quite antisocial at the moment.
Stream, dance, stream.
Yeah, I might do. Yeah, I don't know. Stream more Mud Runner. Yeah, if I find
I
something
love
fun.
that.
Yeah. Mud Runner is actually really fun.
Yes,
it's quite relaxing.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you can find me on Twitch. I've got some videos coming out for the Centre for Computing History because we're still shut. So we're making videos and currently making a video on how to code a version of Missile Command. So when that comes out, I'll let everyone know. But that's me. That's what I'll be doing.
What about the GoldenEye project?
Still waiting for the bits from China. The mod chip has arrived, but the mod chip flasher... Well, no, sorry, the NAND reader hasn't arrived from China yet. But as soon as that's here, I'll be hacking my Xbox and then, I'll be... doing a big old stream of GoldenEye, which I'm really excited about because I want to play it on original hardware. Well, original-ish hardware.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I'm thinking of streaming The Outer Worlds, the DLC. What is it? Attack on Gorgon.
Oh, yeah.
I might try some of that. And a little more of Hive Busters, the Gears 5 DLC. And some more Valhalla. Hopefully I'll get closer to the finish line. So
Ever so slowly. You got it.
Exactly.
I believe in you, Expat. I believe in you.
Cool. Yeah, I believe in myself sometimes.
Occasionally.
Just finish the game already. Shut up about it and finish it. I'm sick of hearing about friggin' Valhalla.
Finish it, yeah.
Jesus, it's been 6 months already.
Yeah. All right, so to finish the episode tonight, our indie recording artist spotlight is on Ethan Dufault. Singer-songwriter and producer Ethan Dufault's vocal melodies are filled with character and smooth vibes, and his production infuses elements of pop, electronic, and hip-hop. From his album titled When I Know, and the song is called Kryptonite. This has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Dan, and our special guest, mochabutter. We hope to see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Peace out.
Bye.
I'm running your way, but you push me away. Your lifeline, losing your mind. I'm here for you, babe. I've loved you the same this whole time. So tell me, what's on your mind? And I'm not here to hear you say you're fine. I can take the pain you hold inside. I wanna know, wanna see it. Can I feel your kryptonite? Can't get this off my mind. Does it only control you? Let me in, I'll help you out. I won't lose you this time. I feel your kryptonite. Can I feel it? Can I feel you? Can I feel your kryptonite? You think you're too far, but I'm where you are, you know. I said I won't leave your side. They left you bare, but I'm begging you, stare in my eyes. For you, yeah, I'd give my life.